AP Microeconomics.
Welcome on in, people! We are here on a Monday. What is going on? What is going on, people? And it's Halloween week. You better believe we're going to be very, very festive this week. Yes, royalty-free remixes, clever Mr. Moore. You know, I try. You know, I got to do what I got to do. You know, sort of thing, right? But people, welcome on in. Welcome on in to the live stream. Glad you're here, right? Glad you're here. But hope you guys had a great weekend as well, right? Great weekend. But what are some announcements? The first announcement is Problem Set 3.4 is due tonight. What was Problem Set 3.4? I can't even remember. I think I gave you guys that on Friday. I think most of you guys finished it, right? That is due tonight. Don't be a late Problem Set turner-inner person, right? Don't turn it in too late. Get it done the day of. You don't have to worry about it, all right? So what we're going to do today is we're going to do a little bit more graphing practice with perfect competition. Perfect competition? What's going on over here? What's going on over here? Perfect competition. There you go. Perfect competition. And then we're going to learn about something called the shutdown rule, which is going to be in play for all the market structures that we learn about. The shutdown rule will apply to all of them. And then we're going to, from there, realize the short run supply curve for perfect competition. All right. Not a whole lot of notes for you guys though, but they're spooky notes. You guys better believe. Be ready for it. All right. So what is attendance in the chat today, people? Boom, right there. What was or is, if you're a former trick-or-treater or a current trick-or-treater, to find in your bag after trick-or-treating? What is the worst candy? Right? You go trick-or-treating, you dump out your bag right on the ground. Ooh, right? Which ones are gross? Which ones are just disgusting? You don't want any of those ever. Oh, I forgot. We got mods. We got mods. Nice. Nice. Laced candy. Oh no. Oh no. Let's get into it. Alright, people. So Chase says Almond Joys. That was a popular hit macro today. Almond Joys. Whoppers. Ooh, Whoppers aren't too bad. But I'm probably with you, yeah. Tootsie Rolls. A lot of people seem to dislike Tootsie Rolls as well. Three Musketeers. Yeah, I'm with you on that. That's not the best candy bar that I would want. Almond Joys. Mary says candy corn. Candy corn's pretty... Yeah, I don't want candy corn, especially if it's like unpackaged. Ooh, it's risky. Butterfingers, Almond Joy. Butterfingers, people, Butterfingers is pretty good. As a matter of fact, if I go to Dairy Queen and get a Blizzard, I kind of want Butterfingers. I'm not gonna lie. Not a candy, but those Halloween pretzels. No, I know what you're talking about. Those are pretty gross too. I am never a trick-or-treater, Jenna says. Okay, what about candy in general? I know not everyone trick-or-treats, but what's your like least favorite candy like ever? Whoppers, Milk Duds, goodbye. Oh, I like Milk Duds though. Milk Duds are good. Unless you have like braces and like it's probably like a bad idea. Yeah, laced candy, it's funny. Tootsie Rolls are nasty. Oh, there you go, Jenna, nice. Almond Joys slaps. But what are you guys talking about? Almond Joys are good. Very good. I'm with you on that, Ethan. Milk Duds. Milk Duds. Yeah, people don't like Milk Duds. It's crazy. I love Milk Duds. They're good. I prefer them. That's what I want when I go trick-or-treating. Butterfingers. Please stop the Almond Joy hate. Right now. Almond Joy slander will not be tolerated. Mods, get them out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Three Musketeers. Tootsie Rolls. Three Musketeers is weak for real. Yeah, Musketeers aren't the best. There's some candy bars that just aren't the best. I'd rather get like a Snickers. Candy corn is so good. Hold on, Cam, you like candy corn, but you don't like Milk Duds. I'm gonna have to get you out of my class. You're gonna have to leave. Get out. I'd rather punch Caleb than eat an Almond Joy. Is threatening violence worth a timeout? I don't know. Milk Duds and Almond Joys are so good. Almond Joys are so average. Stop the cap. Stop the caps. What's the caps? The lies? Lies? No caps? I'll put Chase in timeout. No. Do not abuse your mod privileges. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because I need to ask you guys a question too after this, like right away. To start our review on perfect competition graphing a little bit. But without further ado, people, it is time. It is time. Oh, I do want to mention this, people. Yeah, see? Yeah, Cam, you're a good mod. You really are. You're right. People, I got a big announcement for you, right? Myself and the production crew here have been working on a haunted house, and I'll give you a sneak peek, but we're probably not going to venture into the haunted house till like Friday, maybe Thursday. We'll see how big the haunted house is. But sneak peek, the haunted house. We're going in there, people. We're going in on Thursday or Friday. All right, towards the end of the week. Gotta get closer to Halloween. All right, but it's going to be very, very spooky. So like, if you get scared easily, you might not want to come to class those days. I'll tell you that right now, because it's gonna be crazy. I'm not lying. I'm just kind of nervous, like thinking about it. Yeah. Here's some of the construction going on. There's just one of the rooms and whatnot. But yeah, it's gonna be pretty scary. It's gonna be pretty scary. I don't want to show you guys anything more. Is that a haunted house or a trip house? It's a haunted house. It's gonna be really scary. And there's gonna be some scary things today as well. It's gonna be scary all week, but the haunted house is gonna be absolutely insane. That's what my crew's been telling me. All right, so just be ready for that. If you miss that class, I'm gonna be very disappointed in you. All right. Okay. Anyway, I think it's time to start, people. I think it's time to start. Yeah. Cut the music, please. Thank you. Appreciate it. All right. Kaboom. It is all Stranger Things background music, which is like the best soundtrack ever. Yes. Yeah, it'll be sweet. It's gonna be sweet. I love Halloween, people. I don't know how, Halloween's probably one of my favorite holidays. It's just nostalgic. It's kind of like, it's kind of like Christmas, right? It's kind of just, I don't know. I knew it. All right, people. I'm going to start you guys off with this, right? We need to do a little review on perfect competition, right? I don't think you guys learned about the graph until Friday, right? So it's pretty recent. Again, being virtual, I don't have the luxury of being able to like, hey, graph it on your piece of paper, go, right? Like every single day, and being able to walk around and see, who's struggling, who's not struggling. I'm just assuming you guys are like graphing a little bit, right? When you guys are doing the problem sets. Yeah. All right, cool. All right, so here we go. Here's our first little practice today. It says, which of the following is a correctly labeled graph for a firm making economic profit? Which of the following is a correctly labeled graph for a firm making economic profit? It's got to be perfect. It's got to be labeled correctly. The curve's got to be drawn correctly. All right? There can't be one error. Just like when you guys draw a perfect composition on your FRQ, there can't be one error. You understand? Let's get into it. All right. Boom. Right there. All right. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? Which one is perfect? Put it in the chat. Which one is perfect? I got to move out of the way a little bit. 1, 2, 3, or 4. Which one is perfect without error? You got to look at it for a while. All right. Look at it for a while. This is nice with virtual. I don't have to grade perfect composition FRQs anymore. It's kind of like this, right? This is like if I was grading FRQs from students, there's slight little errors that are really hard to like see, right? Which one is the correct graph, people? And again, the green has to be the economic profit. Ethan says 2. Now everyone's gonna copy off of him. People, you gotta think on your own. What's going on over here? What is going on? People, it actually is not 2. Me and Ethan got you. Me and Ethan talked before class, and I was like, hey, be the first person to put an answer in, and he did it, and all you guys copied. Joke's on you, right? Joke's on you. It's actually not 2. It's not 2. I gotta make Ethan a mod. People, I'm drinking hot cider. It's really, really good. I had coffee during macro, and now I got hot cider during micro. How festive is that? You're like, I actually thought it was 2. This is why I have trust issues. It's 3. It is 4. It isn't 2. Are you guys all done guessing? People, it's none of them. It's none of them. They're all wrong. They're all completely wrong. And let's talk about why, right? This is why economics requires precision, people. Precision, all right? Why is it not 1? It's not 1 because number 1 is showing a loss. Number 1 is showing a loss. Everything about number 1 is true, right? But number 1 is showing a loss. And that's how you would correctly shade in the loss would be right there, right? Step 1, are they producing where MR equals MC? Yes, they're producing where MR equals MC, right? Very good. Is MC U-shaped and ATC crossed at its minimum point? Yeah, you're good, right? Demands like this, right? Perfectly elastic. And then, yeah, this would all be total revenue. This would all be total cost, so the difference would be the loss. So it's not number 1, right? Because it's not a profit. This is literally how the AP test fell. So it's not 1, okay? Number 2, it's not number 2, right? Because the number 1 thing you need to do is find where MR equals MC. That is your quantity. And quantity is way over here. We chose to select our quantity where MC intersects ATC. What is going on with that, all right? No. Where MR equals MC is your quantity, the profit maximizing quantity. Other than that, everything's good on it, right? But like the most important detail was not there for number 2. And then number 3, why is it not number 3? Well, the profit's too much, right? The profit should only be here, right? And then go straight across, right? We just shaded in the profit way too much. And then it's not 4 because MC and ATC were labeled incorrectly, right? This is MC and this is ATC. So they're all wrong, people, right? They're all wrong, right? Gotcha. Gotcha. Man, Mr. Moore's so smart. All right, anyway. This is pretty good, but we got to find our quantity and we got to find our profit, right? So let's do number 1 together. You guys are going to get 4 questions on your problem set that are going to look kind of like this, right? What's the quantity? What's their total revenue? What's their total cost? What's our profit and or loss? Right, not and, but like profit or loss. That's pretty much all you got to do. He's going to give us trust issues. This is betrayal going down. You guys are funny. All right, so, okay, what is our output, people? How much are we going to produce here? It's the number one thing. It's the first thing you have to do. The first thing you have to do is find where MR equals MC, because that is the profit maximizing level of output. In this case, it is 10, right? It is 10, right? So I would draw a line going right here. It's 10. That's where MR equals MC. Like, again, if MC is less than MR, you're going to keep doing it, right? If the additional cost is less than the additional revenue, you're going to keep producing. But you're going to stop producing, you're not going to produce the 11th unit. Why? Because the additional cost is greater than the additional revenue you're going to receive, right? So you're going to produce 10 units. The answer is 10. So once you find your quantity, right, then you got to find total revenue and total cost. How do you find total revenue? Well, this is your average revenue curve, right? So we know that if we produce 10 units, on average, each unit is going to sell for a price of $14. If each one sells for a price of $14 and we produce 10 of them, right, the total revenue would be 140. So if we were asked to shade in total revenue, right, it'd be the whole thing. Then we got to find our total cost, right? That's how much money we're going to bring in. How much does it cost in total to produce those 10 units? Well, on average, when we produce 10 units, right, our average total cost curve says on average it costs $10 each unit. If it costs $10 each unit and we make 10 of them, our total cost would be 100, and to be shaded in right there. It's kind of the same color. I need to change that, but see that? That's our total cost. So the difference would be our profit. So this would be our profit right here. Okay? Again, some students do this. They'll like draw like that and like put the green down here, right? Don't do that, right? Boom, average total cost going over, right? Because that's total cost. This whole thing's total revenue. Profit is total revenue minus total cost. All right? Yes. 10-10. There we go. We got people participating in the chat. What was that noise? Did you guys hear that? Oh my gosh. Scary. People. Oh gosh. That one got me. I forgot I put that one in there. I'm not going to lie. All right, anyway, moving on. Number 2. Let's do another one here. All right? What output should the firm produce? How much output should the firm produce here? I hope that didn't scare anybody. I didn't mean to. Caps, right? Is that what you say? Caps? I'm just full of it today. How much quantity are we going to produce here, people? How much quantity? See, Ethan's putting 6. Now everyone's putting 6. But again, yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right. MR equals MC, right? We're going to always produce where MR equals MC. That's the first thing we need to do. And we need to select our profit maximizing level output, the output that's going to give us the most amount of profit or the least amount of loss, right? It's the profit maximizing level of output is also your cost minimizing level of output. So regardless, this firm is going to produce 6 units. And when they produce 6 units, right, how much revenue are they make? Well, that's, you take your average revenue curve. On average, when we produce 6 units, each one's going to sell for a price of $15. Each unit is going to bring an additional revenue of $15, or average revenue of $15, but it's also margin revenue, same thing, right? So the total revenue is going to be 15 times 6, which is 90, right? And then, in this case, this firm is making a loss, right? Because our average total cost curve is way up here. Boom, right? On average, each unit costs $20 when we produce 6 units, so our total cost would be 120. 20 times 6, right, to be the whole area of that rectangle there, right? Very good, Jacob, very good. And then, what's our profit or loss? Well, in this case, we're making a loss. Why is that? Well, here's our total revenue. This whole thing's our total cost, right? So the difference would be our loss, and there's our loss right there. So if you're asked to draw a perfect competition, illustrating a loss, right, it'd be like that, right? The difference between total revenue and total cost. Boom, so our loss would be 30. 120 minus 90. Pretty easy, right? You guys will do pretty good at that. So this firm is going to continue to produce at a loss because that is their best play at the moment, right? And how do I know that? Because I'm aware of the shutdown rule. Do you guys remember that? Oops, skeleton, right? You guys remember I gave you guys this slide and I was like, what if price keeps going down, right? This firm's making a loss. But I said, even if a firm is making a loss, they should still produce at where MR equals MC, because if they produce at where MR equals MC, they're going to lose the least amount, right? It's also the loss minimizing rule. Again, if we were to produce, 3 units or 8 units or whatever, right, we'd lose more money than we would if we produced at 6 units. However, right, there's a special rule, and it's called the shutdown rule, all right? The shutdown rule, what's going on here? Let's get that slide. The shutdown rule is this. The shutdown rule. Okay, the shutdown rule is this. Firms should continue to produce, even if they're making a loss, as long as price is greater than average variable cost. As long as price is greater than average variable cost, the firm should continue to produce. If price is less than average variable cost, it's in the best interest of the firm. The cost minimizing level of output is 0. They should shut down and just pay their fixed costs, right? Let me show you why. Oh my gosh, that's a clown. All right. So shutdown rule. A firm should continue to produce as long as the price is above AVC. If price gets below average variable cost, the firm should minimize its losses, and they would lose less if they shut down, produce a quantity of 0, and just pay their fixed costs. And it's this idea here, right? If price is less than AVC, their losses are greater than their fixed cost, right? If they choose to produce the profit maximized level of output when price is less than AVC, their economic losses are going to be greater than shutting down and just paying their fixed costs, right? Like their rent, right? Like the things they're obligated to pay. And that's kind of what I just said. Why? If price is below AVC, the firm is losing more money by producing than they would be by shutting down. Let me show you. It's going to make more sense on the graph right here, all right? So this is the only time where we really need AVC. This is the purpose of average variable cost, right? If you see average variable cost on a graph, there might be shutdown rule, right? So we need to figure out the price. Well, what's the price going to be here, right? Well, price, we take the price given in the market, and where supply equals demand was $4, so we draw that over to our firm, and that is the demand curve for this good, right, from the firm, right? Everyone's willing to pay $4 for this good. Where does MR equal MC? It equals it right here at a quantity of 5. You just have like a thing going down here. Again, remember, if MR equals MC at 2 different points, you find the upward portion of marginal cost. They would never produce here when, every additional cost is going down, right? So they're going to produce 5 units. So here's why when price is less than AVC, it's in the best interest of the firm to just simply shut down, right? And just pay their fixed costs. Because if they produce the cost minimizing level of output, the profit maximizing level of output, same thing, they're going to produce 5 units. If they produce 5 units, notice their average total cost is $7 each unit. When they produce 5 units, the average cost of each unit is $7. So their total cost, therefore, would be $35, right? That's how much it costs to produce. Well, how much money are they going to bring in? If they produce 5 units and sell each one for $4, right, they're going to make $20. So if they choose to produce the best level of output, the profit maximizing level of output, or in this case, the cost minimizing level of output, they're going to lose $15, right? Because again, total revenue is 20, and their total cost is 15. If I shaded in the yellow here, right, that would be my total loss. They would lose $15. So it's in the best interest to shut down. Why is that? Well, if they shut down, how much is their fixed cost? Remember, average fixed cost is the distance between ATC and AVC, the vertical distance between ATC and AVC. So here's our fixed cost right here, right? The average fixed cost of when we produce 5 units is $2. So 2 times 5 is $10, and it's a cost that doesn't change. So once you find it for one quantity, you know for all quantities. The fixed cost is $10, right? So maybe the rent, right? The monthly rent's like $10. Obviously like a pretty low number, but so that's your fixed cost. So yeah, it would make sense, right? If price is less than AVC, so here's the price, $4. AVC is 5, right? AVC is 5, price is $4. If price is less than AVC, they should shut down, right? Because again, here's how much they got to pay if they shut down and pay their fixed costs, like the rent, right? And it's put a close sign up on the windows, right? They still got to pay the rent, but they're not producing, right? If they choose to produce and open up shop, they're going to lose $15, right? They're going to lose all of that. So it's better to just lose this much, just shut down, pay their fixed costs, pay their rent until their rental obligation is over, or they can sell the building to somebody else, or get out of their contract or whatever, and just not produce until that's done, right? It's in their best interest to produce a quantity 0 rather than actually producing MR equals MC. That's the idea of the shutdown rule. Producing nothing is cheaper than staying open. Make sense, people? So on FRQs, you generally have to explain, right? This firm is currently incurring economic losses. What must be true for the firm to continue to operate, right? Well, what must be true if the firm is making a loss and they're going to still choose to operate? What must be evident is price has to be greater than ABC. if they're going to continue to produce. Firms should shut down if price is less than ABC. So make sure you read the question when you put your evidence in there. What must be true for this firm to continue to produce? Well, price must be greater than average variable cost. What must be true for this firm to produce zero quantity or shut down? Well, price must be less than ABC for that firm to shut down. And again, it's all because their losses are greater than their fixed costs. They should shut down. That's going to happen when price is greater than ABC, or less than ABC, sorry. All right? So, profit maximizing rule, MR equals MC, right? On Friday, I was like, MR equals MC always applies. And it's going to apply to oligopolies and monopolies and monopolistic competition. We're always going to find the quantity where MR equals MC because that's the profit maximized level of output. As long as price is greater than ABC, all right? It's going to apply to all market structures, but price has to be greater than ABC or else we're not going to follow this rule. That's the only stipulation, all right? Never forget that. So for perfect competition, it can be restated as price is equal to marginal cost instead of MR equals MC because MR is equal to P. You can write it as well, but most students just write MR equals MC. So the whole point is, going forward, right, for all the market structures that we learned about, you're always going to find the quantity where MR equals MC, and then from there, right, you can calculate total revenue and total cost and all that, and figure out if they're making a profit or loss and shade it in. But only do that if price is greater than ABC. If price is less than ABC, we're going to produce zero quantity. Your total cost would be your fixed cost, and obviously your revenue would be $0, right? That's the idea. So you guys are going to do that on your problems today. The last thing I want to talk about goes along with the shutdown rule is where is our supply curve? Because we have our demand curve, right? We have our demand curve. It's Mr. DARP. That's our demand curve. Where is our supply curve, right? Well, it works like this. Imagine if price is $10 here, right? How much supply is going to be brought to market by this firm? And also remember this, right? Let's kind of talk about something separately just real quick, right? Because I know it's on your problem set. If there is 10 firms, and this is perfect competition, right? There's 10 firms in the entire market, and this is perfect competition, right? And each firm chooses to produce 5 units. Each firm chooses to produce 5 units, and there's 10 firms. What will be the market supply? What will be the market supply? If we have 10 firms, each firm produces 5 units, what will be the market supply? $50 units. Very good, right? 50 units, that makes sense? Because in perfect competition, every firm is exactly identical. Now, perfect competition means there's hundreds of thousands of firms. I know that to make the math easy. So when you guys see that, right? If one firm produces, 4 units, every firm's producing 4 units. So times 4 by the number of firms, you're going to get your industry supply, your quantity, for supply and demand, your market quantity. But anyway, all right. So let's talk about this, right? So let's say price is $10, right? How much quantity is this firm going to produce? Most of you guys are like 4 units, right? Because that's where MR kind of equals MC, right? The answer is 0, right? Why is that? Well, price is 10, and ABC at 4 is greater than that. It's like 15, right? If price is less than ABC, we're going to produce 0 quantity. So it kind of works like this. We produce 0 quantity. Here, let me draw this in real quick. We produce 0 quantity up into a price of 15, right? This is our supply curve. It's 0 units at any price less than 15. Once price is 15, we're going to produce 5 units, right? And then where MR equals MC, it's 6. It's going to be 6, right? Where MR equals MC, it's 7. Where MR equals MC, it's 9, right? So this right here is your supply curve. This plus this, right? A supply curve is at various prices, how much is going to be brought to market? What's the willingness and ability to produce and sell at various prices? That's what a supply curve is, right? So your marginal cost curve, in a sense, is the firm's individual supply curve, right? It tells us at what prices are going to be the amount of quantity brought to market. But it has to be when price is greater than ABC. So our supply curve really extends to over here, right? We're going to produce 0 units, 0 units, 0 units, all the way until a price is 15. Once price is 15, we'll bring 5 units to market. When price is 20, we'll bring 6 units. Price is 25, we'll bring 7 units. Right, as price increases, quantity supplied increases, the law of supply, right? So you got to know that. You got to know that your marginal cost curve is your supply curve, but only when price is greater than average variable cost. All right, so let's kind of Let's do some practice questions, and then we'll jump into the Google Meet, all right? It says at a price of 0A, which kind of sounds weird, right? That's like, A minus 0, right? Like at a price of A, right? Economic profits would be what? Well, here's MR equals MC. Boom, it hits MC right here, right? So here would be our quantity. Oh, Mr. Moore just gave away the answer right now, right? Here would be our quantity, which is like, undetermined. But this whole thing would be total revenue, right? This whole thing, right, at a price of A. Then our total cost would be our average total cost curve at this quantity, right? All of that would be our total cost. So our profits have to be A, B, K, and H. A, B, K, and H, right? That would be your profit. They're trying to throw you off with F, kind of like I did, right? It says, in the short run, the firm will stop production when price falls below what? Shutdown rule, right? We got to find our average variable cost curve. Here's our average variable cost curve. When price gets below D, right, we're not going to produce. We're going to stop producing. If price is E, we're going to produce zero quantity, right? That's the shutdown rule. When price is less than ABC, or MR equals MC, right, we're going to stop producing. Very, very good. Jenna, Abe, good job. One last question. One last one. The last thing I just talked about says the short run supply curve for a firm in a perfectly competitive industry is... Oh, man, this apple cider's good. Hopefully there's no more scary stuff here. I'm really pumped up for that that haunted house. It's going to be so sweet. E. You guys are all saying E. E. Yeah, you're right. Yes, ABC. ABC is the shutdown rule, right? That tells us how much is going to be brought to market. Zero quantity up until our price is greater than ABC, and then we're going to produce those quantities, right? Our short-run supply curve. None. The College Board hates us. Actually, it's none of them. If you circle any of them, you get it wrong. I'm just kidding. All right, people. All right, so we're going to jump in, do problem set 3.5 in the Google Meet. You guys can take a little break if you guys want. I'll see you guys at 1:35. If you want to hop in right away, I'll be there. And I'm going to post your problem set, all right? So I'll see you guys in a bit.